Of Tea with Z. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you again on this Monday morning for another episode of Tea with Z. And I'm starting off a little bit later than usual today. But if you haven't got your cuppa to join me, go and grab that now. Or if you've had your morning coffee or tea already, then I totally understand as well. But like always, if you are watching this on a replay, please definitely chat in the comment section below, because I'd love to obviously interact with each and every one of you. And my promise to you is that I'll respond to each and every comment that comes down into that chat. So if you are watching a replay, definitely say hello. But if you are watching now as well, I'd love for you to jump on and comment in the comment section and give me some love and say, good morning, because this is all about being as interactive as possible. Now, if you haven't read the description about today's topic yet, feeling extremely blessed and extremely grateful this morning. So yesterday was my birthday. And I actually shared this birthday with my incredible sister. So shout out to my sister, Tanisha, who was actually born 4 years after me. So for those of you that don't know, so mum literally baked me a cake and gave me a sister. So we had an amazing weekend celebrating our birthday together with some family. We missed my brother, but they couldn't make it, unfortunately, and his family. But it was absolutely incredible, and we're feeling very, very blessed. And one thing that we touched on last week, I guess, was on Wednesday last week, was talking about celebrating wins and the power behind the celebration and the emphasis that we place on that celebration to acknowledge the wins, not only in our professional lives, but also on our personal lives, not only in our own lives or our own businesses, but with our teams, with our friends, with our family. And one thing that really resonated with me over the weekend, as we were able to celebrate, I was able to actually celebrate with my cousin, Ishan, who's also my best mate, and his newly married wife, so his new wife, Nina. So special shout out to Mishan and Nina, and also my cousin Krishna. And what was really special with that, I guess, that weekend is, one, the ability for us to actually celebrate and see each other, because I know my heart goes out to those people in the world that are undergoing extreme difficulty at the moment. And I don't just mean, to the lockdowns that we're facing in COVID, but we're looking internationally. We're seeing, despite a pandemic, a global pandemic, that people are still, I guess, fearing for their lives based on war and other severe atrocities in the world. And if you aren't up to date with what's happening in other parts of the world, it's not just a global pandemic that's facing causing a crisis amongst our human populations, but it's a lot of other things that are going on, which is really, really devastating. And when we look at the world in which we live, and when we look at the world that our children will grow up in, it's going to be incredibly different. It's going to be incredibly different. I was just chatting to Tash over the weekend, and our generation have seen so much technological change, and we're driving down from Brisbane down to the coast, and just the marvel of cruise control in the car, and that being a level of automation when we drive, and just to help us keep our speed when we drive. And now, what is our daughter going to grow up? What will her driving down to the coast even look like when she's our age? Will she even be driving herself? And at the end of the day, when you start to ponder these questions, and when you start to look at the future that we are creating, not only for ourselves, but for those around us, the future that we need to start creating and looking at, it's really interesting to come back and step back to that point and go, well, what in our world are we actually creating? And not only taking stock of what we are creating, but stock of what we have now. And it's even more important than looking into the future and looking to see what is happening in the world. But it's really important just to be present in this moment, and just to really let it sink in, to go, what are we grateful for? despite all of the atrocities that are happening in the world, despite all of the atrocities that might be happening in our lives. I was down at the coast and I witnessed a protest about, I guess, the freedoms, or the perception that freedoms have been taken from us, as a result of this lockdown. And, this isn't this isn't a forum for the political debate of it. But it just made me really wonder, I guess if we stood back and took a moment to just really be grateful for the world that we lived in right now, the fact that we are healthy, the fact that we have the right to go out and protest, that in itself is something that we can be extremely grateful for and hold a dear amount of gratitude towards. So at the end of the day, when we are looking at that in our lives, and what we were able to do is really identify that in our lives and to really, I guess, understand and be grateful for what is actually happening in our lives, we were able to enjoy that moment even more. There was something really interesting then when we come to that. I guess the power of gratitude in our world, and the world that in which we live in, the power of gratitude and the ability for us to transform that gratitude into leveraging the opportunities that present to us. And we touched on that a lot last week about looking for the opportunities, but by being grateful for what we have right now, we can then better clearly see the opportunities within that and the world in which we live. And so when we look at that ability to be grateful, we can harness that power of gratefulness and translate that and transcend that into anything that we want to create. Because at the end of the day, if we can come from a place of gratitude and identify those areas of gratitude, we can then leverage the opportunities within that. By leveraging the opportunities within that element of gratefulness, we can then transcend and transform and create so much more powerful things in this world. So for me, over the weekend, it wasn't just about celebrating the birthdays and celebrating the amazing, I guess, ability to spread joy and have joy received to me from my family. It was just about being grateful in that moment. And for me, that was even more powerful. So when we look at our business, when we look at the ability to actually understand what things that we are grateful for and place an emphasis on asking what we're grateful for, we're able to better appreciate what the situation we're in at the moment and the role in which we play in helping to help those around us. Because as health entrepreneurs, our role is to empower others with the tools and resources to live healthier and more well-being lives. And that to me is the fundamental role of being grateful. If we ourselves can be grateful for the opportunities that we have to help others, then to me that in itself is the most powerful form of human connection that we can create, is through gratitude. And so that's my question to you today, is what are you grateful for? And how do you demonstrate that in your life? How do you demonstrate that in your workplace? How do you demonstrate that to your peers and colleagues? And that quote that I put up as the cover image of this really, really resonated to me. Because at the end of the day, if we ourselves don't highlight and show the gratefulness that we go on to, so feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. And isn't that true? Because at the end of the day, if we can't demonstrate our gratefulness to others, if we can't then even take the time to recognize what we are grateful for, then where can we see how can we see the gifts within that? And when I use this word opportunities a lot, it's not just about the opportunities, it's about the gifts that can be created within the element of gratitude and the gifts that we can give to others just by expressing it. So that's my question to you today, is how are you expressing gratitude? How are you receiving gratitude? How are you asking others to dig deep and identify areas of gratitude in their lives? How are you yourself reflecting and identifying areas of gratitude in your life? So that's my question for you today. And once again, a special shout out to those that have joined the Limitless Network. It is absolutely growing and it's phenomenal. And thank you so much. And a really special shout out to those that are actually inviting others on the journey. And that's my question to you is if you are feeling grateful from what I am providing to you, well, how can you best show that? How can you best share those gifts? And for me, it's just about inviting others on this journey with you. So if you yourself can share those gifts, and if each of us just asked 3 other people to come on this journey with them, then instantly overnight, this group could triple again, could triple again. Because at the core of it, if you don't value health in your life, what do you value? And this is a group of like-minded health entrepreneurs, whether in business for profit, looking to gain from profit as a health entrepreneur, or in it for themselves, where the profits are your own personal health and well-being. This is the group for you. So that's it from me today. Once again, just feeling really, really elated. Actually want to give a little shout out as well, and a really special mention to my family for making it so special. And if you haven't jumped on Instagram yet, check out Instagram. There's some behind the scenes snaps on there as well. And I really, really appreciate it. So once again, have an amazing day. Find what you're grateful for, share it, express it. And yeah, have an amazing day. And we look forward to seeing you on another episode with T with Z tomorrow. Take care now. Stay safe, stay well, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye for now.